From the LiveX studios in New York City, Cheesehead TV brings you two guys who like to think they know something about football.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Packer Transplants Live. I am Aaron Nagler, and joining me, as always, is Mr. Corey Banky, my partner here at Cheesehead TV. I'm coming to you live from my living room in New York City, and Corey joins us live from Green Bay, Wisconsin, across the street from Lambeau Field. And we are ready to talk some Packers. What do we have on tap today, Corey?
Today, I get to say I told you so when it comes to the Packers' chances in San Francisco, and we look ahead to the showdown with the Steelers in Lambeau on Sunday. But right now, it's time for the good, the bad, and the ugly. We got the good. We got
Yosh! Oh my gosh, Nijman.
We got the bad. We got
Kick! Oh no! Coverage.
We got the ugly. We got
This guy right here. That's right. I put myself, Aaron Nagler, in the ugly this week because I doubted. I did not keep the faith, Corey. You were right. You get to say, I told you so.
Yeah, well, it's easy to say I told you so when I always tell you that the Packers are going to win. So there you go.
And so that when they win,
You know?
you get to say you told you. That's I like it. That's
Yeah,
a good philosophy.
You
How
know
you doing?
works.
How you doing there, Banky? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I don't know how you do this every day, Nagler. I don't know how you do this content thing. I feel like
You know.
I feel like I just have an IV attached to me, and it's just taking content out of my soul. I had a lot of fun with AJ Dillon. Last night I was able to go to the Green Bay Chamber of Commerce dinner, which is very
They let you in there?
very
That
exciting.
was amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, they did. You know, LiveX, we were a silver sponsor. You know,
Oh,
that's
silver
how we're
sponsor,
rolling
if you
around here.
please. Well, I
I
guess
know,
so.
you know, Nagler hasn't had a bump in his salary in 5 years, but we can afford sponsorship. So, you know, here we are.
Well,
but
why do you
Nagler,
think we
I'm
can
just
afford
gonna-
to be silver sponsors? Because you got me
I
grinding
wish,
like a hamster on the wheel over here. That's how we do it.
I went to a pretty amazing bar downtown, and I'm not going to name, but it's pretty.
In Green Bay, Wisconsin?
When I say the
No way.
Yeah.
I don't believe
when
it.
when I say the word dive bar to you, okay,
Yes.
this was the dive bar that the dive bars go to, right? And yeah,
Outstanding.
you know, it was great. It was great.
There are plenty of
it was
them in that
great.
area.
Yeah, you know,
Wait,
here we
You
are.
went. Wait, when was this?
Last night.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. You know what I did last night? I stayed home and
What'd
watched
you do?
all 22 because that's what I do. I watched the all 22. The Packers. What was nice is I put out the lament on Twitter that my Game Pass had yet to convert, where they finally instituted the all 22 back into NFL Game Pass. But I saw
Yeah.
bunches of people on Twitter cutting up clips, like looking at all 22. Mine still didn't feature it. And I was like, just waiting my turn. And some very nice, one of the film geeks that I follow on Twitter sent me the entire file of the game on all 22.
Wow.
So I thank that anonymous person, because I'm not going to shout them out because they're not supposed to be doing that. But thank you very much. So that's how I spent my evening, cutting it up. And hey, you know, we've kind of buried the lead here, because since you complained about the fact that we start with the news every week on Packer Transplants, it's
Yep.
time.
Yep.
We're breaking with time-honored tradition. Never mind the fact that this has gone back literally over a decade of how we operate here at Packer Transplants. We've got a new
It's true.
segment that I literally just invented earlier today, so we don't have any graphics for it or fun audio or anything, but we will. We'll get there. This is every week now, after the good, bad, and the ugly, we are going to start with the hotness. We're going to get the hotness
Okay.
from the previous game. It could be a big play. It could be an amazing feat of athleticism. Who knows? It's going to be different every week. But this week, we start the very first, the hotness in Packer Transplants history. This will be highlighting Aaron Rodgers' first throw of the final drive. People talk about Aaron Rodgers being the most incredible thrower of the football. Like, you can quibble about Brady and the GOAT and all this stuff, and fine.
Mm-hmm.
But there are precious few humans who can make this throw in the situation that Aaron makes it. Nicholas, if we could roll this, I mean, just look at now. First of all, the protection is incredible here. Look at this man, survey the field, literally drew this play up on Thursday and completes it to Devontae. Look, I mean, let's look at this again. Right over the outstretched hand of Fred Warner, one of, if not the best middle linebacker in the game. That, my friends, is what we call the hotness. I like that, Banky.
I think, I think we need to. I have an idea for a stinger for the hotness. So.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be
and
like.
You're gonna share this with the class, or are we gonna?
Do you remember the Buttons song we made? I think it's gonna be an extension of the Buttons song. Buttons, we've got buttons, we've got miles and miles of buttons.
Oh, I remember that.
Great song.
We did harmony and everything on that back in the day.
Yeah, I think we need to use like some auto tune and like make it like the hotness.
I'm all in. The hotness is here to
stinger.
stay. But now it's time, Corey. It's time to eat your vegetables.
Oh, we got to eat our vegetables now.
News.
I do love vegetables, but
there isn't a ton of news this week, at least not up to this exact moment where we're live, so we don't have to go through it too much. But Tyler Lancaster placed on the COVID-19 reserve list. I have still not seen any reporting about whether he has been diagnosed with COVID-19 or if he was just a close contact. The league and the PA obviously have the agreement extending back from last year that they're not allowed to say. Sometimes reporters will get that information and throw it out there. I haven't seen it yet. So Tyler Lancaster coming off undoubtedly his best game of the year on the COVID-19 reserve list. We'll see how that transpires for the remainder of the week. The other tidbit of news, MVS, Elton Jenkins, and Kevin King all not practicing earlier today. Kevin King is still ill because he's still listed with the illness designation. He must be really sick if he's been sick since Sunday, and now it's Wednesday, and homeboy is still sick. Something, maybe a little fire underneath that smoke. You think maybe, possibly?
No idea. No speculation.
That's just a long illness, is all I know. I mean, goodness knows. We all heal at different rates. But as someone on Twitter said, he's sick of giving up big plays. Hey-o!
Oh, dear.
Nothing. I just served that up. Nothing from you. Okay, I got it. I see it. All
I
right.
mean,
move on to the offense.
I'm not a fan of all the Kevin King hate. I just don't like it.
I get it. Hey, man.
I don't enjoy it.
Hey, if there's anybody on this internet who has defended Kevin King, it is yours truly. But I did not like the decision to bring him back. And now they've got Stokes playing at a high level, which is very exciting. I do think whenever Kevin's back on the field and able to participate, I think he will still be utilized. But I got to think Stokes made a pretty big claim to a starting role with his performance in San Francisco.
People in the chat are saying Kevin King has a concussion.
Oh, there you go. I had not seen that reporting. I just have the initial response from Rob Domofsky from practice. Chris Barnes still has a concussion as well, of course. Yada yada. Interesting that Kevin King has a concussion after being diagnosed as an illness on Sunday morning. We'll see how that develops.
Isn't one of the symptoms of concussion like you can have nausea and you can have things that are symptomatic of like having an illness?
Yep.
So,
yep.
Like maybe they just misdiagnosed. They missed it and didn't realize it was a concussion.
Yeah, maybe it came to the fore later in the week. Entirely possible. Maybe the long plane ride brought it up. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let's talk about the offense, shall we? We'll get to the defense and Stokes and what have you in a little bit. Talk about the offense.
The offense, they came to play. Offense.
What about
that was the offense I've been waiting for. I've been waiting so long for this. And Yash, you can't say enough about Yash. Yash.
You can't, right? I mean, the fact that guy got thrown in there, and I thought Coach made a good point in his presser when he talked about how the decision to go with Yash was based off the fact that he, quote, earned it, as opposed to sliding Billy Turner over, playing Kelly at right tackle, which I thought was what they were going to do. And he made a good point about going back and watching his preseason tape. Most of that, if not all of it, was against ones. He played extensively in all the preseason games, and he went up against the ones for the Texans, for the Jets, and the Bills. And the Bills tape particularly is really good, and that's probably the best front, one of the best fronts they'll face all year. And he held his own. And I think the perception around Yosh probably got colored a little bit after he gave up the sack that got Jordan Love injured in that Texans game. But, he did have a very solid preseason, and they clearly felt comfortable throwing him out there, and Stenavich made that call. But once again, you can't say enough about Yosh and just the young guys in general. The fact that Runyon and Myers and Newman held up as well as they did. And I asked Coach a little bit about that very thing, because I did notice it looked like they were firing off the ball a little bit more in man concepts. That, obviously they're a zone running team. That is the entirety of that scheme is predicated on getting that zone game, the zone run game going, and then working boot out action off of it. But they look like they were doing a lot more man blocking, firing off the ball, which I thought was smart, given that they had a number of young guys along the line. So I asked Coach about it, and here's what he had to say. Roll it, Nicholas.
Coach, it looked like, and I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong, it looked like you guys utilized a lot more man/angle blocking in the run game. I mean, you guys are obviously never going to get away completely from zone, but was that particularly because of the defense you were facing, the front you were facing, or was that partly a product of playing so many young guys across your offensive line? You wanted to let them fire off the ball a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's certainly, you always take into account what the opposition is doing. But yeah, we implemented some bounce schemes, and just as a change up, because we really haven't done that. And we thought there were some opportunities to potentially try to just mess with the defensive ends, so to speak, just the way they come off the football. So we're always trying to, you want to keep the defense off balance in really every phase, but certainly in the run game, that's an important part to our offense. And when we can stay with the run and be consistent with it and get those rushing attempts in, I think it just opens up so much more in your passing game, whether it's coming off the play passes or maybe even just slowing down the rush a little.
There you go, Coach.
There you go.
Putting it point blank. I love the idea of messing with the defensive ends, because that's what's given them such major issues in that building. The two games in 2019 in particular, when they were trying to run a lot of the zone stuff, the zone outside zone, and Bosa or whoever just kind of blew it up. And I'll never forget seeing a play where Bakhtiari's back 3 yards in the backfield and thinking, what, you're just banging your head against a wall. I think allowing both, the tackles, but, as well as bringing in tight ends and really attacking the defensive ends. We saw a big dog on one running play help spring Aaron Jones for an 8-yard gain. All of that, so smart. And it's the kind of stuff that I wasn't expecting, and I did wonder if they'd ever make that. I guess it's not really a dramatic adjustment, but it's a pretty significant one given what their scheme traditionally is. And they did a lot of stuff that's not within the traditional scheme that Matt likes to run. So I loved that. And that to me was a big key. And I think it probably did surprise the 49ers. But of course, none of it works unless the offensive line steps up, which they really did.
They really did.
We got
that game.
We got Corey's
That game was very, very surprising for a lot of Packer fans, and I was here for all of the surprise. It was like you're expecting. It just felt like going into that game, everybody was expecting this huge kind of letdown. So everybody was kind of being like, "All right, well, the Packers are going to lose, so I'm just going to I do this to myself, right? I think something's going to happen, so I try to set my expectations to get them right." And it was a great game overall, but it was a very, very pleasant surprise to a lot of Eeyore Packer fans. Let me tell you that right now.
Oh, the Eeyores of the world. Goodness knows. Yeah. Talking about continuing on the offensive side of the ball, I thought you would appreciate this. You've always loved dinking and dunking. It's always been a favorite.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Offensive attack. Well, Mike McCarthy for one. But he's now in Dallas. I love the quick passing game, really got them rolling. And I think it was a great example of being a complement to your running game. There are a number of times that they had Devontae in the slot or just a quick flick to somebody, MVS or somebody on the perimeter. There were so many times where they set guys up to block for a quick throw to Devontae. And I think the first 9 throws, something like that, the average speed out of Rodgers' hands was 2.2 seconds. Like, that's a really good way of eliminating a pass rush. That's a really good way of making sure those defensive ends and the front in general can't get after your quarterback. If he's flipping it under 3 seconds, I mean, good luck. You're not going to breathe on the quarterback. So I love that the quick passing game. And it's funny because I think in that game, a lot of people are, they're going to remember the runs. They're going to remember the drama at the end with a lot of the deep passes, the deep shots that Rodgers did connect with, or maybe that he didn't connect with. But it was really, going back and watching it, I'd kind of forgotten how much the quick rhythm passing game really got them rolling early on. And I think that was really smart. The idea of just get the ball out of Aaron's hand, get it in space, get it to your playmakers. I loved that.
Well, and to that quick passing game, there was this one play in particular. It's the touchdown to Devontae, and where he hits Devontae to the left, and it's crazy
Right.
because Devontae goes in motion, then does the like backup thing, which I've never seen before. I've never seen us execute that play like that, right? And then those kind of things were the cleverness that I've always been looking for from Coach that I thought we were going to see in week 1. So apparently what Coach needs is he needs an adversary that he's punching up on, because as soon as he starts punching down, maybe he feels like, Sean Payton's punching down, maybe he just didn't, he didn't have enough of a chip, but like Shanahan, he gets up for it. So I'm kind of excited too, because, nothing better than the Packers winning a game that no one thinks they should. That was literally
those are the best feelings.
2010 for all 2010 for all of us, right? When the national media all picks, although you were actually saying it was interesting, a lot of people were picking the Packers.
I was surprised how many of the folks on the pregame on ESPN on Sunday night were taking the Packers. Yeah, I thought it would be one of those consensus. You see all San Francisco logos, but there were a number of people picking the Packers. Too. So that was nice. It was nice. But to your point, they have used that action one other time where Devontae fakes like he's going to go across the formation and then darts back, and it was actually in a goal-to-go situation. But what they also did, to your point about creativity against people he knows, he did do the play last year in the playoff game against McVay where they brought Devontae all the way across the formation on the goal line, and then he booked ass back, and then Rodgers just hit him right away, and it was before the Rams could make the switch and Ramsey could get over, and that's where Ramsey got all upset. That's another example of using Devontae and using creativity and just utilizing the quick release of Aaron Rodgers, where I do think a part of that is, okay, Sean, I know you know every play in the playbook. We're all running the same scheme. I got to come up with something and utilize one of my chess pieces in Devontae to, get the better of your defense. And he did exactly that. I think there's something to that, what you're talking about there, no doubt. Final thing on the offense, we're going to talk about some nitty gritty, some dirty work.
Oh dear.
Because goodness knows, the pretty boys get all the pub, and you score big touchdowns, or you throw touchdowns, or you make a big kick, and everyone talks about you. But not a lot of people talking about Robert Tonyan and Allen Lazard this week. And I'm here to tell you, they came to play. They did the dirty work. And I put the clip up on Twitter of Tonyan laying out Bosa. I think everyone's seen that at this point. I don't think what a lot of people recognize is how much Tonyan and Lazard did in the running game, both kind of out in space, but also in line. Lazard crashed down a number of times. Tonyan came in formation a number of times and really rooted guys out and helped the running game. Also, Lazard, mad props after the horrible kick coverage that gifted the 49ers their field position at the end of the first half. He literally came to Mo Drayton. This is LaFleur said this, and Aaron Rodgers echoed it today in his presser and said, "Put me on kick coverage. We can't have this." I mean, that's your guy, man. That's what you want. You talk about a guy who's all in and like understands that it takes everybody not only doing their role, but ready to kind of go above and beyond if something's clearly falling down or not up to snuff. I love the idea of Lazard going to Mo Drayton and go, "Look, you need me. You haven't put me on teams, but I want to be on teams." That's a guy, in a contract year.
I kind of feel like,
make
he's
it
trying to make him.
it.
He's trying to sell. I mean, I do feel like if you're Alan Lazard, right? There's some self-awareness you like to see there, right? Where it's like, hey, I'm 4 on the depth chart right now, right? And I got Amari
Right.
behind me, right? And
Mhm.
Amari's not going to get any slower anytime soon, right? So, you got to imagine what are the ways you're going to differentiate yourself so you are available to the quarterback on what we need, which is really, we need Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon to really take over this offense, in my opinion. And the sooner that happens, the better off we are going to be. We are going straight. I mean, I'm living my life right now, Nagler. I don't know if you know this, but you're kind of part of it. So I am basically I'm living my life on the premise that we are going to have the NFC Championship game at Lambeau and go to the Super
Right.
Bowl. And
That's a fine way to live, sir.
okay, so I'm literally planning my life like this. So I need Alan Lazard to figure out, which he's doing a good job of, by the way. I'm not lamenting in this case. I
Right.
need him to
Right.
figure out where he fits, Nagler, so that he
Right.
can have the most impact on this team. You know what I'm saying?
It makes total sense. Absolutely. And to make the team the optimal version of the Green Bay Packers. Because there are many ways and routes and roads they can travel. Right? Every year is different.
Yep.
Aaron
Yep.
Aaron again echoed your sentiment, the thing that you talked about a couple weeks ago that you liked, where
Relearning.
relearn how to win.
Relearn how to
with
win. Yep.
these guys and with this team, because every team is different. So this path could go any number of ways. And Alan Lazard stepping up and saying, put me on teams. This is unacceptable. That's the optimal version of the Green Bay Packers. And that's what we want out of each and every one of these guys. How can they help and make their team, this particular iteration of the Green Bay Packers, the optimal, ultimate version? That's all we want. And, after that, yes, they'll play the games and they'll win, hopefully a lot, and lose a few. And hopefully, like you say, in Lambeau for the NFC Championship game, headed to the Super Bowl. That's what I'm talking about. That is it. And what I'm also talking about is the defense. Because, let me tell you, Eric Stokes, he answered the call. You get this guy who, according to the information we have, did not wake up Sunday morning thinking, hey, I'm going to start tonight on Sunday Night Football. Kevin King was
you got to
practiced all
imagine
week,
he had a
apparently.
good. He got a good. He knew he could, right? He knew by Friday,
Possibly,
right? That he
maybe. I mean, we had no inkling from the practice reports. Nobody on the beat
right.
saw anything wrong with Kevin. He was practicing. Then they fly out on Saturday, and then Sunday, Stokes is starting. So, whatever that window was, it's not like he practiced all week to be the starter.
Mhm.
And he did. He played every single defensive snap. And I think played
Wow.
extremely well. Yes, he takes
Wow.
his lumps. Yes, he got a ticky-tack bullshit interference penalty. And here's the problem is like one of his issues in college was being grabby at the top of routes. And
Mhm.
he did a really good job on the play where he got flagged of not grabbing. Yes, he places his hand on the shoulder, but he doesn't turn him. He doesn't grab him. He doesn't push him. He just places his hand to know where the offensive player is, and then the guy falls down, and then he gets a penalty. And it's so I got to think it's so frustrating for Eric in the sense of I know this is what I got something I got to work on. This is something that I got dinged a lot in college. He had a number of holding penalties, and this idea that God, he finally kind of didn't panic, like blah blah blah, and he still gets the flag. That's got to be frustrating. But
yeah,
other than that play, I thought kid held up really well, really promising.
which is saying a lot considering he's a rookie. And also,
rookie.
it was his third game. And also, like you said, he
In the
didn't have any
NFL,
idea
right?
he was going to start or not. Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible. The NFL is incredible if you really think about it, because the jump from the college to the pros, it does get shorter with some teams, some divisions, so Ohio States of the world, etc. But
Right.
it's got to be a jump, and it's almost a
Big
different
time.
game in some ways.
Oh yeah, I mean, guys talk about that all the time. Aaron talked about it on his press conference earlier today. Speaking of the defense, I got to give a shout out to Joe Barry, who I thought yes, Kyle took advantage of it in places, but for the most part, I thought he not only had a nice game plan, but his patience was really apparent and commendable, especially after a week where the narrative was, oh, Matt had to talk to him at halftime, which is kind of nonsense, but had, told him to send more pressure, whatever. And he did send pressure intermittently. He did mix it up quite a bit as far as where he sent and how he sent said pressure. But after the Ayuk touchdown, where he sent big pressure, I mean, that was one of the few big pressure calls he had all night. He was really judicious and patient with, I got to suspect it's got to eat you up with these third down killer penalties, most of them nonsense, keeping drives alive, or what probably should have been an incomplete pass called as a completion, blah, 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 helping drives sustain, to get kind of impatient and start, oh, fuck this, I'm sending pressure. I'm going to and I thought his pressure, I thought his patience was rewarded both with Kenny Clark's big play when he caused the fumble. That's not a big pressure call. That's Kenny making a play. That's trusting your guys. But also, yes, they drove down and they scored to take the go ahead, but they had to execute at such a high level. There's that one reception that was it Ayuk or one of the receivers had where Jair's right there. I mean, the quarterback is literally getting hit as he lets it go. Jair is legit hand in between the two hands of the receiver.
Yeah.
The guy just makes a great play. And he still catches it. It's just that sustains the drive, another first down. It was a well-called game, and he never succumbed to a panic call that I saw, where it was I got to make something happen. And I for a guy, and I've said my piece about Joe. I don't, I haven't been wildly optimistic, but that gave me some hope. I got to admit that I really thought he called a really good game, despite the fact that, they drove up and down the field in the second half. They scored points and blah, blah, blah. But again, between penalties and just some amazing plays made by the opposition, they get paid too,
Well,
I was
and also,
I was hopeful coming off that performance.
Preston Smith, is there something Joe Barry is doing to utilize Preston Smith in a more effective way than was done last year? Because anytime we needed to generate something, we knew we could rely on Kenny, but it seemed like every time you turned around, besides the lunch pail play was pretty nice, which was not Preston, but every time you kind of turned around, you were like, oh, there's Preston Smith. Oh, there's Preston Smith. Oh, there's Preston Smith.
He has such a good game. Yes.
It's great. You want to see that.
Agree.
And when Z comes back, here's the crazy thing, right? So Preston Smith coming up, Z and Kenny, those three is a triangle, and then you add in Slayton. And I thought it was very interesting that Slayton had a play, right? After we saw how good he was.
Well, what's crazy, Slayton had a play. Slayton helped pressure into a sack for a bunch of other people, including Rashawn Gary, who also had a number of pressures.
Yep.
But he played 2 snaps. Slayton.
Yeah.
2 snaps. Yeah. Get this kid on the field. And I think that's
you got to feel good if you're you got to feel good if you're Slayton if you're making that kind of play. If you're making that kind of impact on 2 plays. That's on
2 plays. So I'm in on it. I'm with you. I think Preston's been I'm not going to say a revelation, but damn, you talk about a guy who's clearly hungry. He obviously took the pay cut and can make that money back with production. He's playing he's got his hair on fire, and I love it. And I don't think it's any kind of secret. He's playing within the scheme. He's being physical as hell. He's really held up well in the run game. Last year, I think he got caught a number of times trying to press to get to the quarterback and got taken advantage of at times in the run game. God, he is playing run first like a bat out of hell this year. He is you will not get around this edge, and if you do, I'm gonna trip you up. There's no way, or I'm gonna get the holding call because it's gonna be apparent that I can't get to the running back. He is, I think he is something. Maybe it's the desire to reach those incentives. Who knows? But something lit a fire there, and he is playing extremely well. I very much agree with that. Speaking of guys who are playing well, I want to talk quickly about Devondre Campbell because he has gotten better each game. That's a guy who I spent all offseason saying I think he was going to be an industrial strength Band-Aid. Like, I didn't expect him to be as good as he was Sunday night. And I don't think he's been great throughout all 3 games, but I think the progression from the Saints game to the Lions game to Sunday night's game, if that continues, oh, baby, they got something there. They got a player. It's been a while since they had a player at inside backer in Green Bay. And he, whether it's diagnosing against the run, whether it's flipping his hips in the passing game and taking guys downfield, just like so nice to see. It's just so nice to see not just competence, but, action, active, getting, diagnosing and flying to the football. There was that kind of sequence where the 49ers kind of got rolling coming out of the halftime, attacking the edge. And finally, like 3 plays into it, Campbell said, enough of this nonsense. And he flies out of his inside backer spot and stops him for a 1-yard gain. And that got him off their script. And then, they had to really switch their tactic. But yeah, I think his play on Sunday night was really promising. And I think he's really kind of brought it and improved every week in the scheme. And you love to see that.
What's really crazy is that we're about to go into the 4th game of the season. What happened to week 1? Why does this always happen? Like, week 1 feels so long ago. It's remember when we lost against the Saints? And I thought it's so crazy. It's so crazy. You wait for it for, how many months? 8 months. And then you're into 4.
Longest offseason of pro sports. Yep.
We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at Lambeau. And, I talked to a Pittsburgh Steelers fan today who he kind of had the Eeyore thing going on. I was talking to him. He's we're going into Lambeau. He's like, we figured out the contract for, I'm just like, wow, you don't sound very confident right now. You're not sounding confident, buddy.
Well, here's the thing about the Steelers game. All right. So yeah, I can totally understand why their fans might sound like Eeyore, given the play of Ben Roethlisberger. There is legit conversation in Pittsburgh, probably not in the building, but around the team about should they bench Big Ben? And I'm like, holy cow! You talk about. I mean, what's crazy is that they brought him back.
That's
and I understand it was okay, he makes the decision and I'm back for one more year. I gotta think there were people inside the building in Pittsburgh going, "Oh no!" But at the same time, have they planned for life after Ben? It doesn't seem so. They don't. What is the alternative? So maybe there's someone sitting on the bench, some young hotshot I'm not aware of that is going to come in and light it up that people are clamoring for. Although the backup quarterback's always the most popular guy in town when the quarterback isn't playing well. But man, Big Ben. Holy cow. And I thought, because you see this stuff on Twitter and you're like, okay, people are talking about how bad he's playing. It can't be that bad. Holy shit, it's that bad. Going back and watching the last 2 games.
You
moly.
saw some of that last season from him, too. You
saw a lot of that last season. Exactly. Nothing's changed.
You're like, what's
crazy
on?
to me? What's crazy to me is you saw everything last year, right? And it was very clear Ben's at the end. This is the end. And if he does decide, okay, I'm coming back, which he did, well, then go and design or try and build your team at least a little bit around, okay, we're going to run the football. And I guess they did that because they got Najee Harris, but their offensive line can't block for shit. And it's they should be pounding the football. And what they look like on offense is a remix / reboot of the Packers week 1 down in Jacksonville against New Orleans. It's nothing but spread. It's just a quarterback trying to make shit happen and essentially failing over and over and over again. It's crazy to me. But yeah, Harris, he's such a good back. He could be a big problem for the Packers in the passing game. Who knows? The running game, you never know with the Packers, which defense is going to show up. Maybe this will be the get right game for for the Steelers running game. But I suspect the Packers will be able to bottle him up in the running game. But in the passing game, he has the potential to really hurt Green Bay. Like, this kid is really good with the ball in his hands. And I got to think, although they haven't done it extensively, I got to think if there's a week where the Steelers offensive coaches go, okay, let's get this kid involved. If we can't run the ball, let's get him the ball in space in the passing game. This is the week, because he could really do some damage against the Packers. I really think so. But speaking, before we head into Blogosphere, the last thing I want to touch on real quick, Juju Smith-Schuster should play, which obviously creates some fun matchups to look at between, him, Claypool, Jair, Stokes, maybe Kevin King, who knows. But TJ Watt is up in the air. He's not, I don't think he practiced today. I don't think he's expected to practice much this week, but he could play. But if they obviously don't get, if TJ's not up, obviously a monster break for the Green Bay Packers, which we'll take every break we can get. Anything else on the Steelers before we head into the
100%.
next part there, Corey?
No, I kept waiting for the graphics to show up on there, but I'm ready for the next segment, I guess. I'm ready to dance.
Okay. Traditionally, we don't do the underneath for the preview part, but I can add that if you want.
Why was I? Oh,
let's go to
gotcha.
Let's go to Blogosphere as we're having a creative meeting here in the middle of our show.
This week in the Packer Blogosphere.
That's right. It's this week in the Packer Blogosphere, the return of that venerable series. Corey, a lot of times we'll look around the old Packer Blogosphere and we'll find stuff that we disagree with, or things that we think are out of sorts, out of hand, ill-conceived.
Yep.
Not this week. Not this week.
Nope.
This week, one of our own took the internet by storm. Matt Mamba, who some of you may know as Unstable Packers Fan on our YouTube channel, delivered his weekly video, and at the end of it was possibly the greatest thing that has ever been placed on these here internet tubes. We're not going to play the song itself because we don't want to demonetize this video, the Packer Transplants video, but we will roll his video while we talk about it, because this was, Nicholas, roll this thing, because, okay, so he's showing the footage and like the beat is incredible. I've heard it on TikTok.
It's off the Reese's Cup song.
So he does this rap.
Mason Crosby.
What I love is
really
that he
funny.
does this all in his house. He's just like hanging out in his house, like making this rap video, and it's so good.
That one video,
so
it is good. It's hilarious. That one video he made 2 weeks ago after the Saints game, where he threw the TV outside, that was hilarious.
So good, right?
That was so
That's what I mean.
funny.
He's just hanging around his house making videos. Like, it's so great. So if you haven't, you have to. I'm telling you, we can't do it justice. You have to go listen to the Mason Crosby song. It's both on our YouTube channel for the Week 3 Unstable Packers Fan video, and also on Matt's channel, the solo version of the song. It is exemplary, and it is absolutely outstanding. I cannot tell you how much joy it brought me listening to it yesterday. I was legit laughing so hard. I was
all of his videos so far, like, it's ridiculous. Okay, not to toot our own horn, but like, it is kind of ridiculous.
But go ahead.
Sunday, okay, we got Watch Party.
Don't ask me to sing.
Okay, which Watch Party into Packers Daily, into Carry the G, into Packers Daily, into maybe a Packs with Cheese Said, a Matt Mamba release, into a Packers Daily, into a Packer Transplants. I'm already tired. Can I go to sleep now? Wow. So YouTube comments, let's do it. Oh, Matt Mamba's in the chat. What's up, Matt Mamba?
Great job on the video, buddy.
I'm gonna start.
Good stuff.
Good job on the video. We did not play the video just because we want people to watch the real,
We didn't play
the real
audio.
deal.
They got to
The
go.
real. We played it, yeah.
Track.
So I'm gonna go to the supers and what I got in the queue. So I want to start with. Let me make sure the team's ready to go. I want to start with Judy Boucher. Thanks for the super chat. Finally caught a live transplants. Thanks for what you do. That's awesome.
Thank you, Judy.
That's great.
Glad to have you on board. Thanks for the super chat and thanks for watching.
Chris Coombs, been watching Bears media react to the Browns game. Is it possible to overdose on Schadenfreude? I know how to say that, and I can't say it. I don't know why.
There you go.
Asking for a friend. ...
It's so good. It's up there with listening to Bears radio, post game radio after they lose.
Ooh, Bears radio.
That is so. It's so great. After they lose, it's one of the best forms of entertainment in the world. Can't recommend it enough.
Luke Carnes, just wanted to say love this and go Pack Go. Appreciate you, Luke.
Oh, thanks Luke.
Super chat.
Thanks, Luke. Go Pack Go.
Jeffrey Smith. Okay, so I thought Jeffrey was like calling me out on this one. It's really funny. This is why I did it. Corey is a tool. I thought that's what he was saying, right? But he's like, no, Corey is a tool. Corey is a Tool fan, huh? You the man, huge Tool fan, go Packers. So I have no idea how Jeff found out I'm a Tool fan. I am a huge Tool fan. I love.
You
Tool.
are a huge. I will attest.
Nagler
I've known Corey a very long
not
time.
A Tool fan.
I am not.
So let's just
Corey.
This is so
a big Tool fan.
I love Tool. They're great. So thanks for calling me a Tool, Jeffrey. Appreciate it. Massimiliano Margagliati. I almost got that pretty good, Nagler.
You did a much
I
better
almost got that.
job with his name.
Dude.
I literally only call him M on Packers Daily because I
love your name. That's amazing name. Massimiliano Margagliati.
What is this? A Pixar
That's
film?
amazing.
What are you doing over there?
Thanks to the super chat. Kudos to Tunyon blocking and catching everything. Yes,
everything,
correct.
No doubt. Thank you, M.
Overshadow Sean, big ups to the man with the best mullet in the world, keeping cool when many of us, fingers pointed at myself, were freaking out. 37 seconds left. Yeah, I noticed that Nagler didn't clip that. Where literally, I go, oh yeah, 37 seconds, we're fine. And I was just
no. I did. I had it in there, but it was so long, and there's such a long pause of nothingness. Like I had to clip it. You know what I mean? I'll get a version where, because I do want to highlight how you were, because you legit. I told a couple people, including somebody on the coaching staff, I was like, Corey was legit saying what was going to happen, and then it happened for the last 3 minutes of the game. You kept saying it's going to do this, and we're going to do that, and this is going to happen, and it all happened. It was great.
And kudos to some of the Twitter guys. I follow one of the guys. I can't remember his name. I didn't give it to you for the script. Where they were in the stands. There's two of them. The Green Bay Press Gazette just did a story on them.
God, I should have.
And they're in the stands, and everybody's doing that Dallas thing where the guy's laughing at all the people behind him that are 37 seconds too much. Is so good.
No problem. There's no problem. So good.
Oh, sweet. Should I add that to the queue? Massimiliano said that I had an excellent pronunciation, so I'm proud of myself now.
Wait, say it again. Say it again. One more time. One more time.
Wait, I gotta look. I gotta look at it. Massimiliano Margagliati.
Massimiliano. See, I got it now. All right. I'll do
it's the Margagliati that's hard. Once I kind of think about
that. I'll never do that. I'll only do the first name. That's tough enough. The Massimiliano,
that's a really cool name, by the way. I just think that's a really
great
cool name.
I love it.
Arthur Basso, I think it's Basso. People quick to forget Steelers beat the Bills in Buffalo. I know they looked like 80s Packers last week, but can't take this one lightly. I'm going, by the way. Sweet. Nice, Arthur.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
no doubt about it.
What do we say? Is there ever a trap? Is there ever a trap game? No.
Mm-mm.
There's never a trap game.
No such thing as a trap game. Got to be up for it. No time for a letdown.
We're getting some. This is nice. Thank you all. Dustin Schuett, thanks for super chat. Hey guys, thanks for doing this. Bjorkquez is a weapon. It's like anything. If I bought Corey a Bjorkquez jersey, would he wear it? The answer is no. I would not. Bjorkquez. Wait, that's what. There's something else. Isn't there a joke that does that? Bjorkquez. There's a whole thing that does that. That's a joke on SNL or something.
I have no idea. I'm sure you're right.
Okay. I will wear. Okay, here's what I'm gonna lay this out.
Oh boy, here we go. Somebody clip this.
A Corey Bjorkquez jersey.
Nice.
Did I say that right now?
There you go.
I will wear a Corey Bjorkquez jersey when Corey Bjorkquez scores a touchdown. Boom, 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 boom,
Damn.
boom, boom, boom. Here we
So
go.
wait, how
Dustin
does that-
Schuett, thanks.
So it's gonna be like a fake field goal, probably. It's where it's direct snap. He's the holder, but he picks it up and
Yep.
runs it in. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah,
I'm down.
or he kicks a punt, okay, and the guy fumbles and he runs
Fumbles
it, in for a
it,
touchdown.
and he
That's
runs down
possible.
and picks it up and runs it in for a touchdown.
Potential.
I got either way. Either is
Dustin-
acceptable for the Corey Banky wears the jersey challenge. Got it.
Yeah, Dustin Schuett, thanks again for the super chat. If Corey's mullet and Aaron's Holmgren stash were in a fight to the death, what hair wins?
Well, Corey's obviously there's so much more of it. Like there's no doubt.
There's so
now,
much more.
You
It
check,
just overwhelms
check
you.
you check back in a month, that might be a different story. But for now, it's definitely Corey's mullet, no question.
There's a lot of super chats. Okay, I got Tyler
Good.
Stewart. Tyler, thank you for the $20 super chat. Making up for all the great free Cheesehead TV content you guys rock. Also for some help with some public peer pressure from my friend Greg to join me at the Packers game here in Minnesota this year. Greg,
Greg, what are you doing, Greg? Greg,
what are
you
you
chicken?
doing?
What is up, Greg?
Golly.
Fucking
Greg.
Every time,
Get it
Greg.
together.
Every time. Get to the game
together,
in
Greg.
Minneapolis, Greg.
Ridiculous. I have no time for Greg. Norman Gratz, thanks for the super chat. Hey, that was me in the stands. LOL. Yes, it was, Norman. I couldn't
what's up,
remember your
buddy?
name. Norman, what's up, buddy? Great job.
shit was
Great content. I follow you on
hilarious.
Twitter now. I know you don't care,
Hilarious.
but I do follow you. So
No, and I love Kurt
I'm
Benker
ready-
gave you a shout
I'm
out.
ready for more.
Did you see that? Kurt Benker retweeted him and was like, somebody give this legend a sideline pass. I was like, yes, all in
Yes,
on that.
I liked
Norman,
it.
great job,
I
buddy.
liked it. Good job. Ken Hansen, thanks to Super Chat. Ken, how was the new Patreon format last night? Sorry, I missed it. So I missed it too, Ken. I was getting drunk on Spotted Cow at a chamber party in Green Bay.
And for that reason, it did not kick off last night. It will probably debut next week. But we had a great happy hour last night. I will say it was a lot of fun. Lots of spirited talk. Obviously, after a game like that, you can expect it. But it was much better technically. I was actually the host, so I could mute people, which was sometimes
you figured
necessary,
out
but-
Zoom? Good job.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
job,
it was
buddy.
great. Only 2 years into the pandemic. Got Zoom figured out. Thanks, coach. Do I work for a
That was so
technology company?
funny.
What are you talking about?
That was so funny last week when you were like, I'm not the host. The only thing funnier than that is when the guy was a cat when he showed up to the judge. That was
the
really
judge.
funny. That's like the classic.
But
I
no,
think
the judge
that- I
was
think the
the
guy
cat.
who's-
the judge was the
No,
cat.
no.
That was it.
No, he's like, no, I'm sorry, Your Honor. It was the lawyer, I think. It was the defense lawyer. Who
Oh, was the
cat.
lawyer? I thought
And
it was
he's
the
like,
judge that was the cat.
I'm
No,
not
I
a
think you're right.
cat. And he's like, yeah, we know you're not a cat, fool.
Thank you.
And then, I'm
Okay,
not-
it wasn't that
All right.
bad. Thank you very much.
It was almost. We got another super chat. Boyan G. Nagler's here, I got to add it to the queue. Hello, you got to do it. Oh, a Paige got it for me. Thanks, Paige. From Boyan G. Nagler's mustache are good enough to take us to the Super Bowl, but we'll also need Banky's mustache for Packers to jump the last hurdle. Okay, I'm ready. I got a mustache.
Wow. Throwing it down.
I
like it.
Here's the thing, okay? I don't know, actually. This has never been examined, but I don't know who can grow the better mustache, me or Nagler. Because I really feel if
That
I
has
worked
not been
at it with
examined.
oil,
You're right.
it hasn't been examined, but I really truly feel in my soul, okay, and you're gonna love this, and you're gonna know exactly why I said you're gonna love this. I
No.
am pretty sure if I worked hard at it, I could have a Raleigh Fingers mustache. I'm just here
Oh,
for it. You know what I'm saying?
there is no fiber of my being that doubts that. Yes, 1,000%. I could totally see that. And someone said today on Daily that like if the Packers keep winning and I have to keep growing this thing, I need to like go handlebar like twirl on the outside.
Yeah, you got to get
like,
the
villain
oils.
style.
You got to get
Gotta get the
you got to
oils
get the
and, like, do the
essential
whole thing.
oils that smell like Milwaukee.
See, I think
Nagler.
you go that route. I'm going much more like Sam Elliott in Big Lebowski, like big.
What are you afraid to go Raleigh Fingers? Are you is it too hipster for you? Is that what it is?
It's a little hipster. That's what I said this morning. I was like, I fit right
Yeah,
in.
I know you're worried about it.
Like,
I knew it would be the hipster.
I don't
thing.
want to be. I don't want anyone to confuse me with someone who lives in fucking Brooklyn. Let's put it that way. All right.
True. When you live in Queens.
Queens for
True.
life, baby.
So Yeah, Green Bay for life. Hey, so I got two more. Oz
right.
Osborne has I'm tricking the team.
Oz, you
gotta
made
go
it.
through
What's
some
up,
more.
Oz? Oz gave
Oz
I love
Osborne.
Oz. Oz gave me a
You're gonna
shout
love
out
what he
on
put.
Twitter. Literally said, "What time is transplants?" And there it is.
That's what he put here. And then we got
Were you able to make?
Weapon.
Wait, are you only showing up, Oz, at the end now? And you thought that 6 p.m. Eastern was 5 p.m. Eastern because I told you 5 p.m. Eastern, and now you're just showing up. So I don't know, buddy.
You know he
I'm
fell
sorry
asleep.
if you
You know he fell
conversion.
asleep.
Yeah, he fell asleep.
Come on, we
Fair
know
point,
what
fair
happened. And Analog Weapon with the super chat, which I appreciate the super chat. Zoom sucks big time. So there you go. That's our show, ladies and gentlemen.
point. You could not have, nailed it any better.
I mean, I like Zoom over all the other ones, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I like Zoom over Teams. I like Zoom over Google Meet. I like Zoom over WebEx.
Yeah, I
Skype.
agree with that. Oh, hey, you know what? Hey, we were talking about old transplants earlier. Like, you know whose podcast I was on this afternoon? Who will be up later tonight? Greg Bedard of the old Greg
Holy
Bedard
moly.
Siren. Yeah,
Bedard Siren.
We were talking about because because Brady's coming into Foxborough, so they're doing the whole like, what? Oh my God, legendary quarterback coming back to our place thing. So I talked to him about that, and we started talking about the Bedard Siren, and I was like, man, those are some fun times. Remember when we used to have Greg on the show, and we would like have the Bedard Siren go off whenever he showed up? That was good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Had by all.
You mean when he was the only person from
who would come on our
person from JS Online or
give us the
that
time of
liked
day.
us?
Green Bay Press Gazette. Yep. Oh, I remember it well.
I remember that.
But in other appearance news, I'll be on Gary Vanderchuk's weekly NFL podcast with DraftKings tomorrow afternoon. We record late in the afternoon. It'll be up tomorrow evening, but we'll obviously link to it on the website. But be on the lookout.
Why?
For that, we're going to be talking.
Well, you have to.
We're talking Packers Steelers. They're doing like a featured thing with the Steelers in the Packers game.
But is he on his podcast?
Mm-hmm. It's him hosting, and then it's some other influencer who is a big Steelers fan than me representing the Packers, and then we're going to talk about the game.
Dude, you got to get him to do a TikTok with you, bro. He's like big on TikTok. Just letting you know.
Bruh. Tell me about it.
Bro.
Yeah. You know who I got to get to do a TikTok with me is fucking AJ Dillon. We do a weekly show with the guy. I want some of that TikTok love. That's what I want.
Well, what are you waiting for, Nagler?
I don't know. Just something amazing, I guess. Everybody who's a Pixar fan knows what that's from. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, quick shout out to all our Patreon members. We were talking about earlier, thank you so much. Last night was a lot of fun. Happy hour was back on track. It was good to see you all again. The support of Patreon really, really helps Cheesehead TV. We cannot overstate it. Thank you so much for the support. If you want to help support Cheesehead TV, please consider giving us $5 a month on our Patreon page. Obviously, everything that we do here at Cheesehead TV, it's very bootstrap. You go anywhere on the internet, any place you go where you're consuming Packers content, you go high enough up the chain, there is some kind of corporate entity supporting it. Not at Cheesehead TV. We are completely independent. So Patreon members, you guys, I was talking to you guys last night about it. Like, you guys are really the lifeblood of what we do. So thank you so very much. Just wanted to get that out there. Corey, you got anything else for everybody before we head out this week?
No. I will say technically we are part of a corporate entity, but we're not part of a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. I'm just gonna put that out there.
That's technically correct.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think
yeah.
It's like we have some resources, but they are bootstrapped resources.
We ain't got no Viacom money. We ain't got no Gannett.
We're a bootstrap.
We ain't got no
inside of a
ESPN
bootstrap.
Disney bullshit. You know.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
No.
That's all
Independent,
I'm saying.
baby. Independent for life. Come on.
For life, unless the Packers offer us like $10 billion, and then we'll talk about it. But that'll do it for this episode of Packer Transplants. We'd like to thank everyone who makes Cheesehead TV part of their daily Packers routine. We are and will always be devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.
What do we like to do? Put the best what out there? Come on, Nagler, help me out. Best five, all right? Best five.
Not my job.
What do we like to do?